Hey guys, how's it going? This is EK coming back in with another video. In today's video, we're going to talk about the 3 legendary weapons that were put into the game for the season. There was one for Crucible, which was the pulse rifle, the Stars and Shadow. There was one in Strikes, which is the Xeno class, and there's one in Gambit, which is the crowd pleaser. And each weapon are pretty freaking neat, and they all got like exceptional roles. One of the coolest things though about these weapons, I want to say, starting out with the pulse and it having so many different options on this gun. All right, so I'm gonna dive right into a gunsmith. We're gonna click on the Stars and Shadow, and we're basically gonna go through it right away. All right, so this gun has so many options and ways to work with. This season, pulse rifles have anti-barrier. So here are my thoughts. Okay, this thing can roll PvP rolls. It can roll PvE rolls. It's like an all around great weapon, and I thank Bungie for putting this in the game. Now, how do you acquire this? You basically just play Crucible. So if you did Banner, or you did like your 3 weeklies, or you play comp, you got to 5500, you probably have a few of these lying around. All right, high impact frames are also pretty good in both aspects of the game currently when it comes to pulse rifles. Now, for me, just starting off, I was looking for a Genesis Vorpal. Why was I looking for a Genesis Vorpal? Let's just break this down, right? Genesis Vorpal. Endgame content. I love GMs. Vorpal works really well in GMs, and especially against champions. So the role that I went after, it took me a while to get. Okay, so my hunter actually ended up getting something very close to what I was looking for. But the reason why I went Genesis is because Genesis procs when I break a champion shield, especially barrier enemies, meaning I don't have to reload. Okay. Another cool thing that I was trying to go after, which I have not gotten yet, I'm still doing my best to try to go after, is Disruption Break. Disruption Break is really nice because here's the thing. If you use Disruption Break and you run the Ray Sniper with Recon on there, right? Because Recon basically doubles your damage. When you break the shield, Disruption Break gives you 50%. So imagine doing double damage and then having 50% added to it. That might either help you kill the champion or do enough damage where you can finish it off with a finisher or use your primary. So Disruption Break is something that shouldn't be slept on this gun either. All right, so my role for GMs would be Genesis, Vorpal, or Genesis Disruption Break. Now, hear me out. A lot of people say, man, why don't you just go with like Feed and Frenzy or Outlaw? I don't think I need it that badly. If anything, field prep is not bad because if I crouch, it adds 45 to my reload. The reload for this gun is 41, so it ends up being 86, which is not bad whatsoever. Now, in this slot here, there's a bunch of different options. You know, what are you going to go for? For myself, I don't see myself needing a mag, right? If it was up to me, Accurize would be the play. Get some more range. And when it comes to this area here, either full bore or hammer forge, right? If I go with full bore, then I want a stability masterwork. But then if I'm on mouse and keyboard, I don't need a stability masterwork, right? I would rather have a handling masterwork if I'm on mouse and keyboard. The cool thing here, though, is most of the time I am going to go for hammer forge. And if I get a handling masterwork, this is the perfect role for what I am looking to do. Okay. Just basically just like a great flat out roll. And then since if I'm using Vorpal, I am going to go with major spec because champions are ultras and that kind of works with them in that way. Now, if you are on controller, I will always recommend going for small bore. You want more stability. Another cool thing then is you're going to go for the stability masterwork, which brings your stability up to 64. Now, do I recommend steady round with this loadout? Like, if you get the stability masterwork, I don't recommend having steady rounds. Why don't I recommend having steady rounds? I would rather tell you to go for flare magwall. Why? Because you still get a bit more range. Your stability goes up to 68 instead of 78. And having that added reload and that stability with a perfect balanced range is going to be good for you. Okay? Just hear me out. If you get this gun and you have the steady round and flare magwell, try the two. I guarantee you're going to like flare magwell better on this weapon. Now, when it comes to Crucible, there's a few different options. High impacts can basically, you can hit when you can two bursts, but you can also burst on the body. They're very forgiving in the Crucible aspect of the game. If I had to use one, I know a lot of people going for Feed and Frenzy and Kill Clip, and there's nothing wrong with that role whatsoever. For myself, I would say maybe a Quick Draw and Head Seeker. The reason why I say Head Seeker is because 7 to 9% increased damage to precision damage after you hit body shots. And the thing is, this weapon's going to two-shot anyway. So if you hit a body shot and then it stacks up, when you get that 7 to 9% increase to your precision damage, you're going to kill anyway. All right. So would I personally keep Head Seeker here? No, I wouldn't. And I know a lot of people like moving target, but I feel like this weapon has enough range and it has good target acquisition where a lot of people might not say this, but I will. I like Eye of the Storm. All right. The weapon becomes more accurate and boosts handling as your health gets lower. So as you take more damage, you get to be more accurate. So for me, when it comes to a Crucible role, this is what I would probably go for. But I wouldn't even go with Quick Draw. I would use Pulse Monitor because automatic reloads the magazine improve weapon handling when you're critically wounded. So that means Pulse Monitor and Eye of the Storm will actually proc together when you're in a fight. And hear me out here, okay? Just hear me out. Whatever role you like for this gun for Crucible, it is just a personal preference. This is what I would use. This is not something that everyone should use. This is something that I would use, okay? And that is my breakdown for the Stars and Shadow. Now, let's go back into the next weapon, which is from Strikes, which is the Xeno class, right? Another great weapon. Basically, you have so many options with this gun. It can have 1-2 punch. It can have trench barrel. It can have vorpal. This weapon is just like how we just seen the pulse rifle has so many options. And it also goes to 1410, which means that it's going to be around for a bit. Okay, so we're going to go back into the display here because I just want to kind of go into this as well. Mind you, this is a lightweight frame, so you do get that added movement, and you also have superb handling, and you move faster with the weapon. Right. Now, we can see here that there's so many traits in both angles here, or in both sides. Personally, I got my hands on a Genesis 1-2 punch one. I was thinking about it. I'm not too sure if I'm going to use something like that. But for PvE, 1-2 punch is definitely one of the top contenders. But then I ended up with a trench barrel one. And I was like, wait a minute. Are you telling me that I can have a field prep, trench barrel, assault mag, and rifle barrel gun? And ladies and gentlemen, I'm telling you this because I actually ended up with this gun. I was thinking about it, I was like, wait a minute. I'm not going to get this. I'm not going to get lucky. But I did. All right. I got lucky and I got it. Now, the only thing for masterwork for me is I would have loved handling instead of range. I don't want to reload anyway because if I crouch, I reload really fast, right? So there's no point in me having that, especially with the reload being field prep adds 45 to the reload speed slot. So let's go back into the screen right here. The reload speed slot here is at 59. You add 45 to that. 45. We are adding 45 to 59. That is pretty fast. All right, ladies and gentlemen, you are going to 94. All right. And that is a nice number. Okay. Actually, let's see here. Am I going crazy? No, you're over 100. You're not going to 94 because 59 plus 45 is actually 104. So you're going over. It's going to be a pretty fast speed when you crouch. Okay. So now you melee, you shoot 3 shots. Remember this too. The magazine holds 6, right? So that means that it's 2 melees, you crouch, you reload. So you melee, you shotgun, you melee, you shotgun your 3 shots, you crouch, you reload, and you can basically instantly get back into it. So this role is one of the things that I wanted and I got. Okay. Now, one of the cool things here is that there's a Vorpal one. I was trying to look for a field prep Vorpal, but I never got my hands on it. Maybe one of these days I will. And auto-loading trench barrel is not bad either because you can put it away. Same thing for 1-2 punch. This gun just has so many different things that you can go after. Okay. Now, if we're talking Crucible wise, I have a lot of friends who love this gun in Crucible. And they say, you know, like it's like the next best thing. They love it with killing wind because, you know, they get to move, they get the weapon range and handling. But my thing about this, though, is with killing wind, you get increased mobility, but the gun's already a lightweight frame. Weapon range, sure, you might need a bit here. If you're running full choke, though, and accurize, because we're talking about Crucible now, this is a complete different story, right? Your range is about to go up. If you end up with a ranged masterwork, we're up at 68. All right. Now, hear me out. If you're playing especially aggressive like a Titan or something like that, why not go for a Grave Robber and Swashbuckler? Just hear me out. Right? You get a melee kill. This thing is basically has a 30% boost. You can basically just lay anyone out. Or you get in a fight and you have unrelenting, meaning you kill one person and then you can get to the next one. And if you know that you're going to close the gap, I don't think you need accurize as much if you go with assault mag, because then your rounds per minute go to 90. If I'm correct there, your rounds per minute go to 90. If you don't want to worry about closing the gap, I feel like Slide Shot is a great perk. Now, if I had to choose one for Crucible, here's where I'm going to end up. I'm probably going to end up with a full choke, an assault mag, a Slide Shot with kill and win with range masterwork. Okay. So if you are looking for this shotgun for Crucible, that is the role. If you were looking for one for PvE, I wanted a field prep trench barrel with assault mag and rifle barrel, and I ended up getting that. All right. I didn't get the masterwork of handling, but I ended up getting really close to what I wanted. Okay. So that is the role for a Xeno class. Next, we're going to go into the grenade launcher that comes from Gambit. It's called the Crowd Pleaser. I was surprised when I was looking at the roles for this thing because I was like, man, Bungie actually put in a few cool weapons. I wish there were more. I wish there were like 3 to 4 weapons that came, you know, from playing these activities. And I know that they're talking about doing that for the future, so I can't wait to see it. But another cool thing is that this gun also has so many options. And here's the thing. Normally I tell people just go for auto loading quick draw, right? Because it works. You shoot a bunch of stuff and you put it away and it works. Now, hear me out. What about Chain Reaction, which just came in the season? Chain Reaction is so good. and the radius that it covers is so big that you can work with it. Chain reaction clown cartridge. All right, with either quick launch or hard launch and spike grenades. This is amazing, right? This is amazing for PvE. If you decided to, you can always go with a demolitionist build. You can even do ambitious assassin build, right? Where you kill a bunch of stuff because you know that chain reaction is going to kill a bunch of stuff. Once you kill those things and you reload, you are going to be good to go. Right? Am I wrong here? I think that's a pretty neat thing. When it comes to Crucible, if you go with proximity grenades, right? And I'm gonna leave chain reaction here because chain reaction has been so good. I used it in Crucible and it was mind blowing. It was actually pretty nuts. I don't think you're gonna be using ambitious because you're not gonna have that much ammo. Okay, so having chain reaction in this section here, maybe field prep if you end up getting something, but I don't think so. I'm gonna go ahead and say kill and win. All right. So that means that if you get one kill and it kills a bunch of people, you have, I believe in Crucible, you get 3 to 4 shots with a grenade launcher. So if you get one kill and a bunch of people blow up, then you can just, move around a little bit. You have that handling. And then if you see the next person, you can kind of shoot off again, which is pretty neat. So if this is going to be your go-to in Crucible, this might be one of the plays that you're going to go after. Okay. That is my only suggestion for this role. One of the cool thing that I kind of seen here too was Thresh. Thresh doesn't give me I don't know. I don't feel like it gives that much super energy. I have tried testing it. I have not seen an exponential amount, even if I kill 10 to 15 enemies. I'll keep trying it out and see how important it is. It doesn't feel like it's something that I would use. Okay. So generally, if I'm doing PvE, I'm probably going to go with the quick launch, the spike grenades, the clown cartridge, chain reaction, or I'm going to use ambitious and chain reaction because I know if I get a bunch of multiple kills, when I reload, I am going to get a bunch of ammo. Okay. And that is it for this video. I do like to thank everyone for watching my videos and just asking questions and leaving questions down below. I would do my best to read comments and reply as always. Thank you guys for supporting the channel. I'll see you guys in the next video. Thank you. Stop recording, man.